everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Helen and today I'm going to be doing my March TBR and I am taking part in the Roll of Reed's Readathon 2022. I am not going to talk through the rules of that readathon. It is run by a book fiend named Mel. I will link Mel's announcement video below where she goes through all the rules, she goes through all the prompts, the board, etc. So I'll put that below and you can look at that. But I have done my board. So there are my squares 1 to 20. If you roll a 1 in this readathon, then you have to do an extra roll. And if you roll a 20, then you have to, well, then you can do whatever you want because that's a good thing in D&D. It's you have to roll a d20 die. I have purchased my own. You can't tell how beautiful it is, but it's like purpley, well that's better, purpley bluey colour, and it's gorgeous. I don't play D&D, but I got the dice especially, and I have done my prompt cards. So yeah, I wasn't going to do any readathons before your Revisionathon in April, May time. However, I've seen Mel play this game every month. I fancied having a go of it and I wanted to support her channel. So yes, I will. I think what I'll do is I'll roll the dice and play the game and then pick the prompts off one by one, but I'll just go through the books at the end rather than doing one book at a time. And if I roll a really low number, like a 1 or a 2 kind of thing, then I'm just going to use that as the basis to just play the game throughout the month. Whereas if I roll a really high number, like 15 plus, then I'm going to just pick all of the books now and see how I do. Because I would really be a waste of time to have done the board and all the prompts and bought the dice and then roll a 1, and that's all I read for this readathon. So I will set it up for you to see the board and the prompts, and we will go from there. So I'm going to just place the prompts out one by one. You'll have to excuse the film. I am literally doing this with a phone stand in my hand while I try and put the prompts out. I've shuffled the prompts, I don't know what's on them. Excuse the bend in the paper, it was the only paper I could find. It was already folded. We're nearly there. I might speed this along depending on how long it takes. My favourite colour is green, that's why I picked this. I don't have a printer. I didn't have time to print them off anywhere else or go to my local library and do it, so I thought I'll just write them all out. And so yeah, and I quite enjoyed doing that tonight. I had a bit of a stressful day, so it took my mind off it, so thanks Mel. This game's helped in more ways than one. So we've got all 20 there. I will get the dice and we will roll and see. How exciting. Right, what's that? Oh, 3. So I'm thinking that I'm going to want to read more than 3 for this month, but I might just do 3 now and put this as a part 1, and if I manage to read 3 in the month, then I will come back and film a part 2. So 3 books, bearing in mind that if I get a 1, then I will have to add a roll. Sorry if it shakes, but I'm like doing everything one-handed. So is that a 12? Yeah, it's got to be a 12. It can't be 21, can it? On a 20-sided dice. 12. So number 12 is a borrowed book. That is awesome because it's more than likely going to be a library book. And I have got plenty of those as I work in a library. So we will replace that one. I'll go again. Is that a 6 or a 9? I think it's normally, we'll have that one as 6. If I get the dot in the other corner, we'll say it's a 9. So let's go with 6. So we've got an indie or self-published book. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I will look. And the final roll is a 5. Oh, I'm going to replace that one. Not that it matters. And we have got randomize a country pick. That's pretty good. If you don't know, I run the Eurovisionathon book club each month and Eurovisionathon the Readathon, which happens in April. And so I think I'll do it amongst the Eurovision countries. So there you go. Right, so I think I have picked my books for a random country pick. I will put the screen grab up here. I started off with New Zealand. I reset it and it came up with Spain. So I'm trying to think of one that I might have for Spain. So actually, The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Septis, which is was the Eurovisionathon book club pick for February for Lithuania because the author is Lithuanian, but actually it's set in Madrid. So I'm not sure I'm going to get through that one this month. So that may be the one I pick. If I find a shorter Spanish book to read in March, then I might pick that one. At the minute, I'm not doing very well in my reading for February, so the likelihood is that I may not even get through all of these books. So let's say that it's going to be The Fountains of Silence, and we'll see how we go. In terms of a borrowed book, I've had this one out from the library for a while. It's Contacts by Mark Watson. He's actually a comedian, but this is his fiction novel. I think it might be his debut fiction novel. It says James Chilton boards the 2350 sleeper train from London to Edinburgh with 2 pork pies, 6 beers and a packet of chocolate digestives. At 23:55 he sends a message to all 158 people in his contacts telling them that he plans to end his life in the morning. He then switches his phone to flight mode. He's said goodbye. To him, it's the end of his story and time to crack open the biscuits. But across the world, 158 phones are lighting up with a notification. Phones belonging to his ex-best friend, his mum, his sister, the woman who broke his heart, people he's lost touch with, people he barely knows, and for them the message is only the beginning of the journey. It says it's funny and wise, tender and deeply moving. Richard Curtis has said it's funny and endearing. Jill Mansell said it's beautifully written. Chris Addison's put heartbreaking and hopeful, and Adam Kay has said he is one of my favourite writers. So maybe he has done other stuff. Well, actually, I feel like I might have read a book of his, but it was like a non-fiction travel type book or something like that. Anyway, I wanted to try this for a while. So this is going to be my book for the Roll of Reads for Borrowed Book. And finally, for the indie self-published book, I am picking From Peers to Eternity by Hazel Preller. I've had this for yonks. I think I mentioned this to my dad one time and he got it on behalf of my grandma for my birthday years and years ago. It's basically a book where a husband and a wife decide to make it their mission to go and kiss on the end of every seaside pier, or the 55 remaining piers in Britain at the time, which was 2013. So it's very well I got this just after it came out. So we're talking 9 years ago I got this. So gosh, that's a long time ago, but I remember starting it and getting part way and then just stopping. I love a seaside pier. I don't want to give up on this book. I want to re-go. It is published by Indie Pen Press, and I'm assuming the fact that it's got indie in it, I actually think this publisher's no longer going, which is really sad. But yeah, From Peers to Eternity, a man and wife going and trying to take pictures of them kissing at the end of every bridge. There's a picture of them there. So yeah, I fancy giving that a go again. So there's the 3 rolls that I did. They're the 3 books, those 2 and Fountains of Silence. And like I say, I will carry on with the game partway through the month if I finish these. Or if I just feel like I've had enough of any of them and I've read a couple, I might then carry on with the rolls. So this is part 1, and hopefully I will see you again for multiple parts. But if not, this so far is my March TBR, there may well be a Eurovisionathon book club pick for March. I haven't decided whether I will have March as kind of a prepare your month for Eurovisionathon, the readathon. I am doing a buddy read of Sense and Sensibility. I think I have got that. I should have it on my shelves. I'm doing this buddy read with Ellie from Earl Grey Books and Jessica from Lady Lovestead. So this is a March buddy read. I don't believe I've got any other buddy reads. So yeah, it'll be a Eurovisionathon book club book if we've got one in March. I doubt we will. Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, which is a buddy read, and then the three that I rolled here for a roll of reads. So I hope you are all well. Thank you for listening, and I will speak soon. Bye.